Hello, and now we are going to add our isometric art into our room. So if you remember last video, I showed you how to do the cubes and the rectangular prisms. I even kind of gave you a hint of how to do some furniture. So we're going to use a hexagon to actually create the look of the room. So if you think of your room, it's kind of like you're in the sky and you're looking down into the room. So this is the far, 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 far back corner. So I'm going to show you how to add some 3D pieces of furniture. I'm going to start with the bed again because, well, it's actually probably one of the easier ones to do. Plus, I want to make sure, because it's going to be the largest piece of furniture, I want to make sure that it is in the right spot. So I'm going to start on the back wall where the wall meets the floor, and I'm going to do it a little bit backwards. Like I said, once you have figured out and you can visualize the cube and the rectangular prisms, everything else is going to be super easy. This right here is the hardest part, to get your mind thinking from 2D drawing into actually seeing it and visualizing it in 3D. So I'm going to start with the bed. I'm going to start actually with the side because I want to make sure it touches the wall. So I'm going to start on the line and go up. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to come over, go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then this is going to be the headboard. So it touches the wall, so it's all the way, or it touches the line, so it looks like it's all the way against the wall. So then I'm going to come up off the floor a little bit, 1 dot, and this dot is on the line, so I still count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm going to do one more, 6. So then I count crossed here. Oh, actually, I'm not going to, well, let me go ahead and draw it, because you will actually end up erasing it. So if you can visualize it, then you don't have to erase it. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with erasing whatsoever. If you need to erase it, do it. If like this, it's going to end up being covered up and you need to erase it, artists erase all the time. So remember, I have 1 line going down, so I'm going to put 1 line down. And then, so I have the platform for the bed. Now I'm going to add the mattress. So the mattress is actually going to go up 1 and then go across and touch this pole. I'm going to go past this one because this is above, this is behind. So I want to make sure it touches the bed frame over here. And then I crossed here. And then crossed, and then just like that. So as you can see, you have the mattress, but it's very see-through. So I'm going to erase some of these lines and you'll be able to see it much, much better. So anything I erased on accident, I'm going to go back and redraw just like that. So I'm fairly confident that you can kind of see the drawing now. I'm going to zoom in just a hair. You can start to see the bed. So now I'm going to add some more details. I'm going to have the footboard come up a little bit, just like this. Then I think I'm going to have it curved. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 in the middle. So that's going to be my midpoint. So I go up, touch the middle, and then come back down. So that little line does need to be erased. So make sure, because I went up 1 dot here, 1 dot here. So I do want to make sure that I keep it even. The dots are the most important thing. All right, so then here, my midpoint is going to be right there. So I'm going to start here, go up, and come down. Now you do not have to have it curved. If you don't want it curved, because it does kind of give it a different feel, you don't have to. This would be a little bit more complicated. So now I'm going to use this black line right here to use that as the blanket basically, and then I'm going to put a nice big fluffy pillow right there, and then I erase everything. So even though the black lines of the hexagon are in the way, you can still start to see how the room is going to take shape. So on this side, since I'm making a bedroom, I'm going to do a dresser, which would be another rectangular prism. But instead of being a flat one, it's actually going to be standing up and tall. Same idea. I'm going to start on the line and draw up, and then across as far as I want to go. One more. And then come down. Then I'm going to come out, not quite as far as the bed because, well, I'm not making a bed. And as you can see, it does touch that line. It's not a problem. And then, oh, I do need to come out one more, which is perfect because as I draw the line, it's going to make it look like the bed is in front. So actually, I could leave that like that and add like an opening and make it a fireplace. It would be really neat. But I already told you I was going to do a dresser, so I'm going to keep going. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I connect it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and I can't see any dots here on the black line, so we're just going to start over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I connect that. And as you can see, I have a cube now. So I'm actually drawing it backwards from how I showed you to do it on this. I told you to start with the letter V, then start with the top and draw down. Well, the reason that I'm not doing like I showed you is because I'm able to visualize it. I can see this shape, and before I had to learn this. So I had to learn this first. I had to learn how to do this like I showed you in the last video. Then I can start seeing in the 3D and I kind of have an idea of what I want to do. This takes a lot of practice to be able to do it in different order. So if you're following me and you're trying to do exactly what I'm doing and drawing it a little bit backwards, that's fine. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. But if you're having a hard time visualizing what I'm doing, my suggestion is watch me draw it all the way, finished it, then go back and play bit by bit by bit. If you can't visualize the end product first, it's nearly impossible to draw the way I'm showing you. So I would play the whole video first, then come back and draw this. So I have my dresser, made it a little wide, but that's okay. You can put a lot of clothes in there, a lot of toys. Now I'm actually going in between the dots, but I'm staying as much perfect in between the dots as I can. So you see that all these lines are going to be parallel to the black line. And then these lines are going to be parallel to the edge. And then I'm going to add little pulls so you can get all your clothes out. Just like that. So now we have a room with a bed and a dresser. Now I'm going to add flat items. Flat items would be, for instance, I'm going to start with the rug. The rug is going to be flat against the floor. So if you're visualizing it, it's basically going to be the top of the dresser. So I'm going to do the V. So I want a nice big rug in the middle of the room. So I'm going to do a V that goes all the way almost to the edge. A V all the way almost almost to the dresser. And as I'm drawing, I'm also looking the lines that I'm going to draw next, so I know it's not going to touch my dresser. And then the better you stay on the dots, the better the whole thing will look. There. There. So now I have a rug in the middle of my room, and you can add any sort of details. If you want to stay on the dots, you can stay on the dots and add like a little border going around. If you want to stay on the dots and add stripes, you can do a checkerboard, or you can just do abstract. You can draw anything you want, put a heart on it. All right, so the rug is flat against the floor. Now I'm going to show you how to draw flat against the wall. If you notice the top of the hexagon, it goes up. That's what you have to remember. You have to remember that it goes up to a point, so everything on the wall has to go up. So if you notice, it goes up. So we're going to do, let's do windows. We can add windows. So next to the bed, I'm going to add a nice window, let some light in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how tall I want it. And I'm going to go up, stay on the dots, just like that. So it goes up. Then I go straight down, and I just want a high window, not super low, because I don't want any creepers looking in. So you can see how it's going up, but I do stay on the dots. I stay on the dots pointing up, and I stay on the dots going side to side. It's complete opposite of this. So if you look, it's gonna be, well, it's hard to visualize, but it's gonna be the end of the bed. It's the same parallelogram. So then over here, you can add a TV, you can add basically anything you want. I think I'm gonna have some, if I want this to look more like a window, so I'm gonna find the midpoint and make it look like a window. See, I'm staying on the dots though, that's very important. Then I can add curtains, I can add a tree or birds outside. So over here, I think I'm gonna be creative, and I think I'm gonna add a fish tank. So I just add a cube on here. So for this one, I am gonna start with, I think I'm gonna do a rectangular prism, because most fish tanks are rectangles. So I did the V, and then I did the top, then the bottom. So I go 1, 2, and touch the back. 1, 2. This one is a little too far. So even if you count wrong, that's why we use erasers. Plus, you can see how the back of the dresser is see-through, because it is a fish tank. But I'm going to lighten it just a little bit, because the water makes it a little bit lighter. You can see through it, but it's not super dark. So there. And then of course I can add fish to it, or a lizard, or whatever I want to add in the cage. So your windows can be long, it can be short, but see, the top of it goes to the top, the point of the hexagon, and I come down. So if I want two windows, I'm going to stay on the same dotted line. And if I need to count, I can count. And as I'm drawing, I'm also glancing over here so I can see which diagonal. So I have the basic shapes. Now I do not like how this is a little crooked, but as I was going through the black line, it kind of slanted over a little bit. So I'm gonna just erase it and fix it, just like that. And then of course any lines I don't want, there we go. And you have your room. You have your 3D room. Now, remember yesterday I showed you if you don't have the papers that that you can copy off of my links, you can use the lined paper, which is easy also. All you do is you start with a hexagon. I'm actually going to fold my paper in half so I know where the midpoint is. I'm going to put a point here at the top, here at the bottom. Then I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 would actually be in thirds, so I can do a third, third, third. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll put a little dot there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a dot there. And then I do want to keep it on the same line. There. And there. Now if you have a ruler, definitely, actually, I'm going to come up a little bit to 2, because I do know it has 6 sides. However, and of course if you don't have the perfect hexagon, it doesn't matter. There's no such thing as perfect in art. So I do have my hexagon. Then I'm going to find the midpoint, because remember we counted, so here, 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 here. So that's my midpoint. Then I draw a straight line down the fold and then to this corner over here. So it does kind of look like a peace sign, just like that. Then you can go in and you can add the dots. So I ignore this and I put my dots evenly spaced. I'm going to go down. And I probably should have done the peace sign last. So as you were doing this, then if you remember from the other one, you're not going to do in the white spaces even with the blue. Ooh, I'm swinging out. You're going to go in the spaces. So I'll finish this in a minute, but I do want to show you the next row. So once you finish all your blue stripes going down, or blue dots going down, then you're going to go find the space in between and put a dot there, space in between. That's a dot. So at the bottom, now I'm making my dots so you can definitely see, but I'm going to show you here. There we go. So in the spaces. And then this is going to be probably the most time-consuming, mind-numbing process, is adding the dots. But the good thing is, after you are completely finished drawing your room, then you can erase all the dots and all you have is your furniture in the room, and it looks like you drew it without dots. Next time you come, or next video I make, I'm going to show you how to make things look 3D that are not inside of a room and not furniture. See you next time.